Hi everyone, welcome back to MelissaKPlays. This is my talker. It helps me speak.
Hello everybody, and welcome back to Melissa K Plays. We are so happy that you tuned in today because what are we doing today, Mel? Can you tell them?
Today I am talking about my G-tube and J-tube.
Yes, today we are explaining all about Mel's G-tube and her previous J-tube. But before we get into it, please like, comment, and subscribe, and follow Mel on Instagram at MelissaKPlays to get more updates on there. Especially if you have questions, we'll post Q&A polls there in case you want to ask us questions. It's very fun over there.
This is my talker. It helps me speak.
And that's Mel's talker. If you don't know, if you hear that, that is Mel speaking if you're new to the channel, which, by the way, welcome. First things first, we have to tell you what a G and J tube is if you don't know. So I'll probably insert a picture of a G tube and a J tube, but first we'll explain what G stands for. G stands for gastrostomy, and a G tube goes into a stomach. J stands for jejunostomy, and it goes into her small intestine. So that's a G tube versus J tube difference. Mel currently only has a G tube. She had a J tube previously from 2017 in February to August in 2019. So for that period of time, she did have a J tube, so we will be talking about that for a little bit. But for most of her life, and currently, she has a G tube, which is a balloon pump that goes into her stomach. Let's explain what a G tube connects to and how Mel actually does get her food.
G-tube.
Your G tube, yes. So her G tube connects to an external tube that is removable.
Extension.
Called an extension. Totally forgot the word for that for quite a long time today, until Mel just said it. To her extension tube. So we hook that on. I'll start a video of Brady doing that today. And that connects to her pump. Well, actually, I should say that her extension connects to her feed bag, which connects to her pump. So the pump controls the rate at which the feed goes in, which Mel's current rate is 140 milliliters per hour during the daytime and 70 milliliters per hour during the nighttime. So she gets both a day feed and a night feed. Currently gets around 1350 milliliters for over a 24-hour period. To explain more about how Mel came to be with a G-tube, we also have to explain why Mel does need a G-tube. Mel, can you tell them your disability?
Basal ganglia biorhythm reactive disorder.
Yes, that's what it's called, BBGD for short. That's what Mel's disability is. It's very rare, but it makes her not able to do what?
Swallow.
Yeah, Mel has a very hard time with swallowing, so she can't consume food the way that we can.
No.
Especially now. So Mel has a very hard time swallowing. She can't consume food the way that someone who is fully abled can, by swallowing it and just eating and chewing up her food. Mel can't control her muscles on her own for the most part, right? Because of her BBGD. So that makes swallowing especially hard for her. So we can't rely on her swallowing food to sustain her. Yes, so Mel's, the way that she gets her nutrients and her sustenance is through her feed bag and her formula, which we have a powdered formula that we mix up certain amounts, and then we put it in our feed bag and it goes through. So it ends up being liquid. We mix the formula with water. So Mel actually currently is not swallowing anything. She's having a very hard time with it especially, so she has been relying on her feed bag completely. So sometimes Mel eats pureed food, and she used to eat that a lot for dinner. But now she's not eating it at all. It's very hard for her to swallow. So we have been relying solely on her feed bag. So now let's go through the history of Mel's G-tube and how she came to be with it. So Mel got her first G-tube, the surgery for her first G-tube, on May 3rd, 2008.
I was born on May 3rd, 2007.
Yes, you were born on May 3rd, 2007, so your first birthday was May 3rd, 2008, and that's when you got your G-tube. Right. So you have to get a surgery to get a G-tube because they have to put in a hole in your torso right into your stomach, which is called a stoma. When you first get your surgery, you don't have a Mickey button, which is what you see on the external.
Sure.
Are you agreeing with me? Yes. So she actually just had a tube for 6 months after that was just coming out. So there was no Mickey button, which is what we use to pump the food in, if that makes sense. Basically, it's our, what's that called? Entrance into Mel's stomach, which I will insert video clips of so you guys can see what I'm talking about because I'm not explaining it well. The first 6 months, it was just tube, no Mickey, and now it is a G tube. Then in 2017, she got her J tube placed in, which is into her small intestine, and it's way more intense than a G tube is.
2019.
And then in 2019, it was removed, which was huge. But I'll explain why the J tube was so intense. So a J tube, you have to go at a slower rate, and it's continuous, obviously, but you can't change a J tube at home. A G tube, you can change easily at home. It's like this big. It's very easily changeable. A J tube is a very long tube that goes into your intestine, or Mel's intestine, her small intestine. It's very intense, and you have to go in every, I would say, 2 months, or even at least 2 months, but it could sometimes be more frequent than that, depending on whether the J tube is pulled out a little bit or something goes wrong with the J tube. You have to go into a place called Intervent Radiology. They take an x-ray of Mel's belly. You have to get it changed. I think you went under anesthesia you most of the time when you're getting it changed, but you don't remember, obviously. But I think you told me, or you told your mom when it was happening, that it was a little uncomfortable to get that done. And obviously, if you're getting a tube pulled out of your stomach, it's always going to be uncomfortable. But so that's why it was way more intense, and getting it pulled out a little bit meant that you had to go make an appointment right away to get it fixed and everything, and it was just a lot. And obviously Mel relies so heavily on her feed. It's helps her survive. Basically, it's one of the sole reasons that she can survive and stuff. Anyways, so then she got that out in 2019, so now she's back on the G tube. It's wonderful, way better. I am able to flush her with water in it and everything. We do that every day and stuff like that, so it's wonderful. The G tube changing happens at home every 3 to 6 months. So it happens if it's leaking or something like that.
2020.
Yeah, 2020 you had your G tube all the way through, right? It's just if it starts to leak or something, that's when you change it. But usually 3 to 6 months is how long it can last. Now let's get on to Mel's specifications and how she personally uses it. Like I said before, 140 milliliters is the rate per hour for the daytime, 70 is the rate for nighttime. She uses it for her feed, her meds, and her water. All three very, very important things. Feed is what makes her able to survive, and meds are for quality of life. She's on a bunch of meds. That is a whole different video. She gets them in the morning, at 4 o'clock, and at nighttime. I took a video today prior to me and Mel filming this video of Brady hooking her up after she had it unhooked for a while. So he has to, or we have to, hook up her extension, which means you have to turn it so that it's locked in place, and then turn it the other way to unlock it when you want to take it off. But
today is Sunday, July 11th, 2021.
Yes, today is Sunday, July 11th, 2021, if you're wondering when we were filming this video. We're trying to get this video out as fast as we can, possibly to you, so I don't know when you're going to be seeing this, to be honest with you. But before she gets her extension taken off and unhooked from the feed, we flush her, and then we also flush her when we're putting her back on. So we flushed her with 60 when we were taking it off, 60 milliliters of water, and then when we're putting it back on, we flushed her with 30. So you'll see Brady flushing her. It's a syringe full of 30 milliliters of water. Then he has the tube from her feed bag hooking up to her extension. There's 2 slots. There's one smaller slot for syringes and one bigger slot that's usually used for the feed bag. And yeah, and then he hooks her up. He has to position the tube a certain way so that it's not obstructed. And then we turn her on, which you'll see we press the on button, and then we have to press run, and that's how it runs. And then it's good. I don't know if you can see her bag, but it's right here. It hangs on a pole that's connected to Mel's chair, and the pump is also clinging onto that pole as well. When her feed is done, it lets off a loud loud beeping sound, and then I just turn it off. And then we hook her back up probably a little bit later after that, or we do something else that she needs without the feedback on. Obviously, she cannot have her feed hooked up to her tummy if she is ever getting out of her chair for any reason. So if we are putting her in her bed, obviously we can't have it hooked up, or if we're putting her on the table, or if we're just doing anything that requires her to be out of her wheelchair for any reason, we cannot have it hooked up. Oh, also, and to put her in her stander and stuff. But she does get hooked up in her stander, so she is getting her feed in her stander and stuff. And she usually gets her meds in her stander when she's at home and all that good stuff. I think that is all that we have to say today. I think I explained everything hopefully well. So yeah, if you have any questions about Mel's G-tube or J-tube, we will be happy to answer them in the comments if you have any questions. Or if you'd like to share your own experience with G or J-tube, we'd also love to hear it. Mel loves to learn more about other people who have disabilities and stuff and learn about their lives. So please interact with us if you could. So yeah, anything you want to say to them before we go, before you say your outro?
Subscribe.
Make sure that they subscribe. Good job. Subscribe for what else are we going to do? Hopefully more. What videos can they hope to see from our channel?
Vlog.
More vlogs, yes. So we're hoping to put out some more vlogs content about Mel's daily life. You guys seem to really enjoy those. They are very tedious to film and stuff, more so than Sims videos. But we are going to do it for you guys. So comment down below some ideas of stuff that you want us to explain to you, or if you have any more questions that can be turned into videos, or if you have any questions that we could probably turn into a Q&A video or something like that. Please let us know and like this video. Comment on this video, of course. So I think that's all we have for you guys today, and without further ado, I'm going to let Mel take it away.
Bye everyone. Thanks for watching. See you next time. Make sure to like and subscribe and comment down below. Don't miss the next video.
Bye!